Well, the election is just a few days away, and the whole thing could come down to a squirrel that was forcibly taken from its home in New York State and euthanized. Yes, that is a sentence that just came out of my mouth. If you've been on the internet today, you know this already, but Peanut the Squirrel is an online celebrity that was taken by the Department of Environmental Conservation in New York, and they euthanized it against the will of its owners.
They got a search warrant. 4 departments and a judge signed off on a search warrant for a squirrel and a raccoon. And then they took them and killed them.
Now, I can't think of a good reason why the authorities in New York took this squirrel from its home and put it down. Did the squirrel have the Epstein flight logs? I don't understand why this was necessary. Has the squirrel ever been friends with Bill and Hillary Clinton? I don't know why it has so many enemies. Peanut the Squirrel, if you could talk, come to us through a Ouija board. What's happening? Now, Peanut the Squirrel and Fred the Raccoon, they'd been with their owners for years. Their owners had rescued over 350 animals allegedly, and they had used these animals to raise funds. Someone with too much free time on their hands tipped off the authorities, and you would think in New York they have much bigger fish to fry than coming and peeling animals from their home. The folks in New York need to get their priorities together. This is a headline from yesterday. Tren de Aragua is driving Midtown crime. Instead of focusing on that, they are going and taking Peanut the Squirrel and putting it down. Now, since we're just talking as friends here, I imagine part of the reason Peanut the Squirrel had such a large following is because its owner, Mark, is not bad on the eyes. Nonetheless, this Peanut the Squirrel debacle is just a symbol of a larger issue in a lot of these Democrat-run states and Democrat-run cities. In New York alone, they are spending billions of dollars to house illegal migrants in hotels. You can barely get a hotel room in New York right now. Meanwhile, veterans are sleeping on the street. So the fact that New York has the audacity to use taxpayer funds to pry Peanut the Squirrel and Fred the Raccoon from their homes and then to put them down is unconscionable. I personally lived in New York for years. I went to college there. I'm there all the time for work. When you go around New York City, there's trash everywhere. The potholes are insane. The roads are torn up. The subway system barely runs on time. But instead of focusing on the issues that matter, they are going and confiscating this poor, sweet, innocent squirrel. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that took little Peanut away. Now, Americans are fired up over this. You can do anything in this country, but if you hurt an animal, you become persona non grata. We saw it with Kristi Noem. I would not let Kristi Noem babysit my dog after what she did. Now that they've taken Peanut the Squirrel, this is big news. It'll be interesting to see how this story develops. The fact that they searched and seized from this man's home is absolute insanity. If you walk across the border, they ask you less questions than he got when he was interrogated. All right, my friends, thanks for liking and following. Drop a comment. Tell me how you feel about Peanut the Squirrel. How do you feel about these Democrat-run cities and Democrat-run states? Don't you think this is a symbol of a larger issue? I will see you on the next one. Bye.